Current planning targets the Pacific Ocean off the California coast, with Navy recovery forces staged and ready to move in fast. And then the mission ends, right? Nope. Here's the part most people don't talk about, and it's arguably the whole point. What the heat shield looks like after splashdown might matter almost as much as whether the crew is smiling on the recovery ship. After Orion is recovered and shipped back for analysis, engineers will map every crack, every char pattern, every region of material loss. They'll compare it to the models and to the Artemis I damage. Because Artemis II isn't just, can we bring people home? NASA is already pretty confident the answer is yes. Artemis II is, do we truly understand what happened to this heat shield material under lunar return conditions well enough to bet the future of the program on it? If the lofted entry does what engineers expect, meaning minimal spallation and clean, controlled ablation, it validates the approach and clears momentum for what comes next, including Artemis III hardware that incorporates changes informed by everything learned from Artemis I. But if the heat shield shows unexpected behavior again, even if the crew is totally safe, it's a warning flare. It raises questions about whether the models are trustworthy, whether the manufacturing approach needs further changes, and whether the margin everyone thinks they have is actually real. That delayed verdict is what makes this re-entry different. Getting to the moon is the headline. Getting home is the engineering. When Orion hits the atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour, a 16-foot-wide ablative heat shield and a chain of parachutes are the only things standing between 4 astronauts and the Pacific Ocean. If everything works perfectly, most people will barely notice. And that's the craziest part. The most difficult, violent, high-stakes phase of the mission is the one that looks, from the outside, like a quiet splash in the water. But now you'll know what it actually took to make that splash happen.